Chad and Anna Nelson own a trucking company, but the trucking business was driving them apart. So Chad and Anna decided to bring in our consulting company to transform the business and save their marriage.
Hi, we're Chad and Anna Nelson. We own Good News Trucking, a small family-owned trucking business that picks up milk from small dairy farms and hauls it directly to the processing plants. We have 12 trucks and 15 employees.
We came to a place in business where our growth succeeded our ability to manage Good News Trucking. We came to a place where we were so stretched thin. We had no family life, we had no personal life. The business consumed every minute of every day and how to manage it and get it to be sustainable. We came to a place where we asked God to either allow us to get rid of it, liquidize our assets, and if we're honest, we came very close to divorce. Things just weren't working anymore. We had more than we could handle.
I never intended for this to be a business. I just wanted to have my own truck and be my own boss. And God seen differently, because this business grew from just me to 4 trucks, then 6 trucks within the first year. And what happened was it became unmanageable. I had everything on the books in my head. I knew what was coming in somewhat and knew what was going out not very well. But when I started this business, I wanted it to be a partnership because it was 50-50 with me and my wife. My wife was already successful. She already had her own career. And we didn't think that she was gonna have to step into the business to be the financial manager, but she did, and she felt insufficient. She felt that she didn't have the knowledge or the education to keep the finances in order. I was working 120, 130 hours a week to try to keep trucks running and keep things headed in the right direction. And my wife was getting ready to divorce me because things had gotten out of control. I didn't have anywhere to turn but to God. And as I prayed, He brung in a sales rep from your consulting agency. And he gave me some ideas and showed me how your consulting firm could help us to get ideas and to get organized and to make this a family business that was successful and ran in an organized manner. And what it did by us deciding to bring in your consulting firm was saved our marriage, saved our family, and got our business under control. This is our blood wall. This is one of the greatest tools and greatest benefits that we reaped from Nick, our consultant, is that he taught us how to do a blood wall. He put in place how important it was to do a blood wall, and he followed through in having us and teaching us to do that. At first, he would manage the blood walls, but he moved that to me managing the blood walls. What a blood wall is that as a company and the leadership in your business, you're going to identify problems. You're going to brainstorm and put problems down on paper. And when you put them down on paper, then you're going to look at the direct cost. And when you see the direct cost that it's costing your business, that's what makes it real. And maybe more importantly is the indirect cost. Because with that comes ideas on how you can make your business better. After you have identified the cost that it's costing you, you need to brainstorm and come up with solutions. And after you have the solutions down on paper, then you need to assign somebody who's going to be in charge of overseeing those solutions and make sure that they're corrected properly. With that, there's metrics. And without the metrics, it's not real, because there has to be a way that you can see as a business owner that you're making progress towards solving the problems that you've put on paper. And after you start seeing successful blood walls and see the solutions and start reaping the benefits of them, I think it's very important that every business does this. So maybe one of my favorite things that me and Nick worked on together was, Nick, our consultant, helped me to build an overhead pricing model. And what we gained by the overhead pricing model is that Nick took all the ideas and the numbers that I knew it cost us to do business, and he laid it out in an Excel spreadsheet that he took metrics from the last year, from all of our bank statements, and what he was able to do was to put maintenance, taxes and fees, what it really costs to have an employee, and to put these down on paper. And with this tool, we were able to, what the tool made me able to do was to take this to the vice presidents and the managers of these huge co-ops that we haul for and give them solid numbers that were right in front of me, give them the metrics of why these numbers are what they are, and made me able to speak their language. It gave us a level playing field. And what it's done for the business is that you see your profitability and you can put it in there, and it makes sure that you're going to be profitable in hauling or doing what you're going to do. You can see what the number's going to be.
So one of the tools that Nick implemented with me was the CMR, or the cash management report. This report is a strategy where you forecast your financial situation out to 13 weeks. In this, we were able to organize the finances in such a way that we knew what was coming in and we knew what we expected to go out. And so when those unexpected things came, like $50,000 on a truck repair, we were not in a financial hardship with that. We were able to plan for that. We were able to see where we could fit that in to make our business sustainable and the repairs achievable. And moving forward with the CMR report, we are looking at how to purchase new equipment and how to continue and sustain our growth at Good News Trucking. Another thing that Nick helped me with was QuickBooks. We use QuickBooks as our accounting software. And before the consulting group came, I had a very basic knowledge of QuickBooks and was not utilizing it to its full potential at all. I had watched many tutorials on QuickBooks website and things that they would send me, but the knowledge that I gained from those was definitely subpar to what Nick brought to the table. Nick worked with me one-on-one, got me proficient in QuickBooks. Now our balance sheet, our profit and loss statements are accurate. Those are real numbers on there. And when we go to financial institutions for our business needs, we now get the loans that we need. We get them at the rates that we deserve because we have accurate numbers and we know what we're talking about.
So as it pertains to hiring, before we didn't have a lot of resources. We had Facebook, word of mouth, and we'd get 1 to 2 applicants maybe every couple months, and it was questionable as to whether or not they were even qualified to do the job that we needed them to do. after Nick and the consulting agency and Nick plugged us in with their resources, he got us on every hiring platform that we need to be on. Now we get 4 to 5 applicants a week. And I mean qualified applicants, guys that are ready to do the job. We also, Nick helped me to create job-specific details, job descriptions, whether it's a mechanic, an operations manager, or a milk hauler, truck driver. What that does is let the applicant know what's expected of them, what we require, and what we have to offer them as a company. And we have a really solid crew right now, and a lot of that is because of the platform that the consulting agency and the resources that they gave to us with it. And maybe more importantly, scheduling. All the scheduling was done in my head, where we had drivers call me the night before and ask me what they were doing, and I gave it to them out of my head. Now, it's as simple as we have an app on our phone. My wife's in charge of it. She creates a schedule for the entire week, sends it out to the guys. They can accept their runs. We see that every route that we have is covered, and we can enter all the specific details into here, all the information that they need, load numbers, where the load's going, and even specific details as far as don't wash this tank on this day. But it's a really simple system, but it changed my life because now I don't have to answer the phone 10 times every night to explain what a guy's doing. Everybody knows what's expected of them, what they're gonna do, and it's really a finely tuned machine.
For me, what the consulting group did for us is gave me my husband back. It renewed our marriage in the aspect that we now have time. We now have an environment where we can thrive together, both at work and at home. Our children do have their parents back. We are now a functional family unit, and our life is better because we took the gamble on a consulting company to come in and come alongside of us and look at who we were as people and not change that, but work with that and make it functional.
So what we gained from the consulting firm coming in was I'm still married to my wife. We're not divorced. I'm able to spend time with my kids. I have a successful business that's organized and really is able to run without me micromanaging it.
And it runs more efficient.
It does.
Without the micromanaging of it, when there's structures and organization in place.
Not only that though, Nick, our consultant, is now somebody I'd consider my friend. Somebody who we talk weekly. We bounce ideas off of each other. We talk about future plans. We talk about what's right for the business, what's wrong for the business. But when they first came in, they asked me what my goal for the business was. And when I really thought about that, I want to leave a legacy for my children. I want them to be able to step into a successful business and to be able to take pride in it. before the consulting firm, I had a mess. And they would have just walked into a bunch of problems. And I think that's why you see so many next generations sell and get away from what their parents or grandparents created, is because if you don't have structure and organization in your business, you have a mess. And when that spills over into your family life and that becomes dysfunctional, then you got a problem. So today, I would just say that we do have a legacy for our children. We do have a business that they can step into that I believe they'll want to be a part of.
Our children now have a father back who's able to sow time and energy into them. Our children now have a mother back who is not overwhelmed and angry and bitter and really resentful at the business. And so now our business provides for us as a family, but it will also provide for years to come for our children and their children. And we do truly have something that through the generations can last, is sustainable and protected.
I would say this. When you think about consulting agencies, me personally, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't know what they would accomplish or what they would do or how anybody really benefits from them telling you about a business that you already know. But what I would say is you'd be amazed that when people are experts in QuickBooks, in Excel, and in management strategies, you would be amazed at what you can benefit from a consulting agency. Because would I do it again? 100% right now today. So.
And we have plans for the future, forward looking. We know that one day we will have those weeks again where we will have the consultant group come back in as we grow and help us manage that growth and train new people and perfect even more what we have already done.